Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are making cornbread dressing. Now here in Philly we call it stuffing, but for the sake of YouTube we're going to call it dressing. So I am starting with just a box of Jiffy. If you make your own cornbread, please feel free to do that. All you need is a basic cornbread, nothing special. So all I'm doing is just making the cornbread according to the instructions on the package. Just a third cup of milk, an egg, and just to beat it up real good. Make sure there's no lumps, and then we're just gonna get that ready for the oven. Now, I've heard from a lot of my chef friends that they don't use Jiffy because it's too sweet. This is how my mom taught me how to make it, and I'm gonna stick with it. This is what I know. We don't make our own cornbread typically, and plus I'm tight on time. With a busy 1-year-old and a full-time job, I don't have all that time. Convenience is the way to go for me. So we're just going to get this in the oven and bake this for about 18 minutes, I think it is. Now, me personally, we use the vegetarian kind because we don't eat pork anymore. So the vegetarian is easiest for my household. But use whatever it is you feel like you want to use. It's completely up to you. Just get you some cornbread. Now we are just going to chop up our vegetables. So all I have here is some green pepper, red pepper, and yellow pepper, and an onion. I'm slightly lazy sometimes, so I'm not gonna chop this by hand. It's easier for me to just throw it in this little chopper thing. Um, yeah, I don't have time to be chopping up no vegetables. If you want to chop them, that's completely up to you, but I don't do that. If I don't have to, let me say that. If I can avoid it, I most certainly will. And I'll just mix all of that up together. It's all going in the same pot anyhow. I've just gotten to the point where I have to make meals as quick as possible, and if I can take a shortcut, I will. I have a 1-year old that demands food now, so we gotta get them some food now. Gotta comply because kids are the boss. We would like to think we're in charge, but we're not really in charge, so I gotta feed him when he's ready. And plus, sometimes I do enjoy just messing with the chopper. It's easier for me. So here you just see me, prepping the vegetables to be able to get into the chopper. I'm just, coring them, rinsing them off, cleaning them real well. Now I've learned how to make this from my mom. This is how she showed me back when I was a kid, and I couldn't wait till Thanksgiving for her to make this. And then now as I've gotten older, I've started making it myself. I've done some things differently. And I'll explain more when we get there. But y'all, this stuff right here, sometimes I just make it just because. Some people say, "Oh, you eating Thanksgiving food?" No, this is good food. Ain't no Thanksgiving food. When I feel like eating, this is what I do. Now, some people might come for me when I'm gonna say, but listen, y'all. I use turkey sage sausage. Listen, if you eat pork, use pork. I swear, use some pork sausage. It makes this thing so bomb. But I don't eat it anymore. So here we are. And it's hard to find loose sage turkey sausage out here. So this is what we're going with. It gives me similar to the flavors that I like. So here we are. So I'm just gonna brown this and add in these vegetables, and we don't really want them cooked. We just really want them pretty much to be sweated out. And all that means is we want the sugars to break down. We don't want those vegetables completely cooked and browned or anything like that. We don't need any caramelization in this. Now, if you want to cook them that way, that's, your business, but I don't need mine like that. But we also don't want them crunchy either. So all I'm going to do is cook this down. And then we will add this to the cornbread. And that's pretty much it, guys. The cornbread stuffing is so easy to make. Now, when I was cooking with pork, I would use Bob Evans pork sausage, the sage sausage. It was in the white packaging. That is like the best ever. You can use Jimmy Dean. You can use whatever you want. Just make sure you have some sage in here. I know a lot of people use like chicken gizzards and stuff like that. I've never had it that way, and I just really like the flavors of the sausage, so I'll probably continue to make it that way. Now, I noticed while I was editing that I lost some footage, so you missed me breaking up the cornbread, but all that is all of the ingredients together. Now, I make my own chicken broth because sometimes it's just easier, but use some kind of chicken broth to moisten this up. And I also added 1 egg, and that lump you see is just a 1/4 stick of butter that I'm going to allow to melt down because my broth is actually extremely hot. And then I'm adding just some more sage flavoring to this. Well, not flavoring, but seasoning. Sorry. You gotta try it to make sure it's good. And usually I'm on point with my seasonings, but I don't want it to be too salty because the sausage is full of salt. So I didn't add any salt. All I did was added onion, garlic powder, and the sage to this. Obviously, and the broth has plenty of seasonings in it. So you don't want to overdo it with the salt either. Now, the fun part about this is getting to make this in a cast iron pan. If you don't own one, I suggest getting one. This was actually a housewarming gift from my mom when I moved into the house. She brought me a nice set, and I use these things every chance I get. Get you some cast iron pans. Can't go wrong with them. Now, all I'm doing is going to get this into my pan. Y'all, now I'm eating it like this, but you probably shouldn't because it does have raw egg in it. But it is just so good. But you want to get that browned and let it mold, I guess, or stiffen up a little bit. Mine I like still to be a little bit moist so I don't leave it in too long. But after we get this in the pan, we're going to toss this in the oven and let it cook down. You cannot go wrong with cornbread stuffing, y'all. If you've never had it, I suggest you try it. I don't eat stovetop all the time. Like, it's really an occasional thing for me, but I don't eat it like as a dish. I'll have to make a video to show you what I do with the stovetop, but it's not what you think because, yeah, nobody likes stovetop. And there's nothing against those who do. I don't care for it. So we don't really cook it, but I do something different with it. But that's another video. So after we've gotten our cornbread stuffing mixture inside the cast iron pan, we're going to put this in the oven on 350 degrees for about 25 to 30 minutes. And there you have it, guys. Cornbread stuffing. Enjoy.